Liebe Kolleginnen, liebe Kollegen, herzlich willkommen bei...
Colleagues, welcome to Volkswagen. My name is Stefan Vosswinkel and I am the Head of Product Communication. Today we're here to show you our latest product update, the new Tiguan Allspace. A car that is characterised not only by the extra space it offers and its longer wheelbase compared with the normal Tiguan, but also by its enhanced versatility, more specs, more digitalisation, more safety and assistance systems. And what's more, it can be ordered with a third row of seats to transport up to 7 people. And on that note, I'd like to extend to you all a warm welcome to the online premiere of the new Tiguan Allspace. I'm speaking to you from our new studio in Wolfsburg, and in fact, the studio is right at the heart of our factory site. And I would like to thank all of you for taking the time to join us today to take a closer look at the new Tiguan Allspace. Now, the Tiguan is Europe's most successful SUV and the best-selling sports utility vehicle globally, but not every Tiguan is the same. We offer an astonishingly broad range of customization options to match the tastes and needs of our various customers, and what's more, the Tiguan is also digitalized, connected and electrified, and thus fully equipped to master the challenges of our time. In addition to a particularly efficient and intelligent plug-in hybrid version, the Tiguan e-Hybrid, we are also offering a unique performance-optimized version too, the Tiguan R. The performance experts at Volkswagen R have developed a new four-wheel drive system with a torque splitter for the sporty top-line version. And thanks to its variable power distribution between the rear wheels, it allows for a completely different level of driving dynamics. And the Tiguan in general has been a resounding success and one of the key pillars of the Volkswagen brand. More than 6.4 million units have been sold since the vehicle's launch in 2007. And during the current year, we expect to surpass the 7 million unit mark. The Tiguan with the long wheelbase accounts for a large share of these sales volumes. This version has been produced since 2017 and 1.5 million units have already been sold to customers. This constitutes a level of success that has only been possible because the Tiguan is a truly global vehicle. The 4 Volkswagen plants in which this all-rounder is currently built span 4 time zones and 3 continents. And as such, the long wheelbase Tiguan has been a resounding success in Asia and overseas too. A total of 55% of the Tiguans we sell in more than 80 markets come with a long wheelbase. Now, I think these are impressive numbers, and they demonstrate that there is high demand for our Tiguan Allspace. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, I don't want to make you wait any longer, of course. Now I will hand over to the Head of Product Marketing, Hendrik Muth, to present the highlights of the new Tiguan Allspace. So, Hendrik, the stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Stefan, and welcome, everybody. Now, you see right behind me, we have here on the turntable the wonderful new Tiguan Allspace here in our studio. And it comes in one of our new colours with the Tiguan Allspace. King's Red, it's called. I think it goes really well with the vehicle, very expressive type of colour it is. And now here in the studio we have our Elegance trim level. But also on your charts, you also see the R-Line trim levels. Now, these are our 2 top trim levels. They're very elegant, elegance, hence the name, and the very sporty R-Line. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Tiguan Allspace is an important vehicle for all drivers and families who appreciate the spacious concept of a van, but also prefer the sporty SUV-style design of the Tiguan with all the features and technologies. And of course, this long-wheelbase Tiguan also bears the features of the Tiguan, but there are also a number of distinctions that are inimitable to the Allspace, the long-wheelbase version. Now let's get started here looking at the front design of the Elegance trim. Now, what is special here and different from the standard wheelbase is this really powerful and striking silver trim molding that makes for good road surface holding and presence and gives you that all-wheel drive impression. It has a 100% IQ.LIGHT LED light design. Now, what you see here is the IQ.LIGHT matrix LED. What does that mean? We have 24 individual LED diodes, and depending on the driving situation, they provide you with ideal light situations. If you're going through a corner or you have oncoming traffic, you can be sure that your lighting is always top-notch, and I think it looks very sleek as well. Now, also here we have the solid or continuous LED light strip behind our logo. And that, I think, also is a very striking design feature of our Volkswagen vehicles. You may know also from other models. Now let's turn the vehicle and look at the side, and you see exactly what this means. Longer wheelbase, more spaciousness in the rear, 110 millimeters of extra wheelbase, and the design also is inimitable because the C-pillar looks different from the normal wheelbase and the rear window there. Now let's turn it further and let's have a look at the rear. Now can I ask Stefan to get in the car? Because, as I said a moment ago, all of the lights in the rear, also taillights, are LED. And if you use the matrix LED, you also get the animated, the dynamic turn signals. You see those here? And also, if you hit the brake now, Stefan, you see what happens. This is what we call the click-clack design of the taillights, the switching between the stop light and the brake. Now, you see also the lettering here, the logo, and further down, a new design of the diffuser and the tailpipe trims. Now let's open the tailgate here, optionally available also with the easy open function, the virtual pedal. And there you see what the Tiguan long wheelbase is about. It's about loads of space. We have the optional third row of seats. About 50% of our customers commonly buy this version, and it's easy to fold them forward. They can also be folded from the rear of the boot there, and that, you see, gives you a lot of cargo space, up to 1,920 liters if you're talking about the 5-seater. The 7-seater has a little less, but now the spring's just around the corner. If you go to your garden center, you can load it up to the roof. And also, I can also say that this goes really well. My wife has a Tiguan Allspace. We have 2 daughters and a Labrador, so we can easily fit our dog in the rear in that doggy box, and plus your luggage. And still, it's ample of space for the entire family when we are on the road. So, in other words, very functional, very versatile and practical, but not only in the boot, but also if you look inside here in the rear, the second row of seats. Now, Stefan Vosswinkel is 2 meters tall. He was sitting in the front. But still, you see, I have plenty of leg room here in the second row. My kids love that. But also, grown-up people can sit easily, especially for longer drives, is no problem at all. The Tiguan all-wheel or Allspace is really a good traveling companion, and you can load a lot in it, as we've just seen. But what else you can do is to tow up to 2.5 tons of trailer weight. So a horsebox trailer can be towed easily. Now, at the same time, you want to make sure that everything you load into your vehicle, you know, your luggage, you want to be traveling safely. Now, Volkswagen stands for safety, and therefore the new long-wheelbase Tiguan gives you the latest in technology and drive assist systems. There's one highlight I'd like to mention. In the Tiguan Allspace, we're also getting the IQ.LIGHT travel assist system, which gives you assisted driving up to 210 kilometers an hour. Now, obviously, something you can drive only on the German motorway, and that's what I would say. It supports you both in longitudinal and lateral guidance. Now, how is that done? Of course, using the latest in driver assist systems. For longitudinal guidance, we use ACC. In the Tiguan Allspace, this is called the predictive adaptive cruise control. What that means is it uses not only the front camera for signal pickup, but also uses the GPS data of your sat-nav system. So if you're driving into a city or towards a traffic roundabout, the vehicle will brake automatically. For lateral guidance, a number of systems work in the background: the lane assist, the lane departure warning system, also the emergency assist if required. Now, the lane assist, in its latest enhancements, will keep the vehicle on the road, not only if you have road marks, but also in intra-urban traffic. When you don't have road marks, it will look at the edge of the road and will keep the vehicle on the road surface properly. And also, the front assist system has been enhanced, and in terms of surround monitoring, it will also detect people in a worst-case scenario. A child runs onto the road in front of you. It'll detect that, brake, and will make sure you protect not only the passengers inside the car, but also people outside. So you travel safely in the Tiguan Allspace, and very comfortably so. A lot of our customers also take the vehicle onto longer trips, so therefore we're also using the latest generations of powerful and efficient and clean TDI and TSI engines. So I told you something about the outside of the car, and we've seen what it looks like in the boot, but also let me point out what other highlights are here in the front. Now, what's exclusive here for the Tiguan Allspace are optionally available leather Vienna seats that feature perforated leather both in the front and the rear, and on the driver's seat and the front passenger's seat, those seats are also ventilated. Now here in the Tiguan Allspace, which gives you its own design decor trims. Also, what is new, the Harman Kardon optional sound system, 8+1 loudspeakers with an output of up to 480 watts. And if you couple that with the ambience lighting system, my daughter would use the purple for background lights, so that's a good thing to start with. A convenient steering wheel. It's a capacitive steering wheel that allows you to control your travel assist. So as long as you hold your hands onto the steering wheel, the system will recognize that. Multifunction wheel. We have the 10-inch Digital Pro cockpit that can also be customized. And then here in the center console on the infotainment screen, this is a 9.2-inch display. All Tiguan Allspaces are always 100% online at all times. And you can use your WeConnect services using the system. You can control it also with your smartphone, so Tiguan data can be exchanged between the smartphone and the vehicle. But you can also connect to wireless app connect, like Apple CarPlay. You can play back your Spotify songs or other things that you know from your smartphone to be playbacked in the car. Plus, the vehicle can also be customized with a Volkswagen ID, which means every time you sit in the car, it will display your own settings. Down here, you see our new climate control section. Looks very sleek, I think, with the built-in air care function. A number of pre-selected settings are available there. Also, you can put your mobile phone here in that cubby box. It supports wireless charging. As you can connect it to a wireless app, you can also charge it wirelessly to USB-C sockets. So for longer trips, you sit in a comfortable and really premium quality interior, which is exactly what you need for long distances. And at the same time, you talk to your family in the back. Now, let me get out of the car here. Now, I told you something about the Tiguan and its innovations, and let me talk now about our trim level structure. You've seen the Elegance. The Elegance is the one you see here in the studio, and the R-Line you've seen on our slides there. So the R-Line is sportier in terms of its image, and we've revamped also our trim level structure to make it more understandable, took some complexity out of the system, also resolved some configuration conflicts that we had before. Now, it's true, of course, that every country uses their own configuration. For the German market, what I can say is we're going to get started with live trim level as the entry level, which is well equipped. And we start with higher engine ranges than in the normal Tiguan. So our weakest engine is the 110 kilowatts. And above that, we have the two top trim levels, which is Elegance and R-Line. And those as well come with a lot of value for money on board. Now, the Elegance here for the German market, as standard, has the IQ.LIGHT headlights, just as the side airbags for the second row of seats, and a number of other standard features. So that's what I wanted to share with you, to introduce you to our vehicle with the latest in technology and innovation.
Now, I look forward to seeing you again soon for our next world premiere, and I sincerely hope that we'll be able to do it in person. All the best. Stay healthy. Thank you.
Volkswagen.